Well, here it is, chat. It's finally happened, hasn't it? Hasan has been banned from the UK. Free speech activists condemn UK entry ban for Hasan Piker and Cenk Uygur. This is absolutely fucking crazy for a number of reasons, and I'm going to get into that. But first of all, it is simply not going to have the effect that the government or the Home Office wants it to. Now, when it comes to reasons given by the Home Office, the reason that they have done this, they're saying, is because it is not conducive to the public good. Now, if that doesn't sound like the most British thing possible to people who are not British, you're right. It's utter nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. Not conducive to the public good just basically means like, oh, it won't benefit the public. Anyone coming to the UK could not benefit the public. Yeah, it's very the greater good, hot fuzz kind of nonsense language, you know? So Islamophobia suppressed, the left will create a million leftists or like or dislike Hasan. Yeah, this is the thing, yeah. Like, they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what they're doing. Like, there's a lot of people in the in the UK who are learning who Hasan is today. And unfortunately, Cenk Uygur. It feels insane that the Home Office even has the authority to do this unilaterally. Like, what due process actually happened here? The due process is the Zionist lobby gave Shabana Mahmood money, and they said, you can have this money if you ban Hasan Piker from coming to the UK. And Shabana Mahmood said, Sieg Heil, mein Führer, yes I will. That's what happened. That's the due process. Two left-wing US commentators who have both been accused of propagating anti-Semitism, barred from visiting for an event. The UK is failing to protect freedom of speech, prominent activists have said, after the government banned two left-wing US political commentators from entering the country to attend speaking engagements. Cenk Uygur, a host of the Young Turks online political talk show, and Hasan Piker, who runs his own hours-long stream each day, were both due to appear at South by Southwest London, while the former said he had also been due to speak at an event run by University of Oxford students. The Home Office said the two men had their electronic travel authorizations cancelled because their presence in the UK, here we go, may not be conducive to the public good. Uygur has been accused of propagating anti-Semitic tropes in his criticism of Israel. He has insisted his criticisms are confined to analysis of Israeli influence over US policymaking, saying on Monday, the mighty United Kingdom is afraid of speech that shows you who's responsible for war crimes, but no amount of censorship will get us to stop telling the truth. Rare Cenk win, Rare Cenk W. Piker has faced backlash over some of his comments, including reportedly saying on a 2019 stream that America deserved 9/11. Damn! A comment he later apologized for. Cringe! And said was inappropriate. Cringe! I don't think he actually did, though, but whatever. He stood by his characterization of Hamas as 1,000 times better than Israel, and his claim that he would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time in an episode of Pod Save America, the podcast hosted by former staffers for Barack Obama. This could be the reasoning that the UK Home Office has decided to ban him, because obviously Hamas are a prescribed organization in the UK, so they could be using this as the evidence as to why he should be banned. I guarantee that they weren't thinking about like any of the stuff that he said previously, right? Like, he's said stuff like this before, and he's been to the UK. It's absolutely crazy. He was literally in Belfast, like, start of the year. It was literally the start of the year, like maybe February or whatever. He's said pro-Hamas things since he before he came to the UK. He is the place where a lot of people have basically learned that Hamas is literally just the government of Gaza, right? It's so cringe he gets banned for supposed anti-Semitism while also at the same time endorsing Zionists. The UK should love Hasan instead of banning him. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Is that like it doesn't matter to Israel whether you excuse someone for being a liberal Zionist. Because if you are still critical of Israel, it's still the worst thing ever. And the UK is like literally doing Israel's bidding in terms of the government is getting paid money by the Israeli lobby, and they are happy to do that, right? They're happy to do that, not just because of Israel, but also because it benefits the UK to be part of the imperial core, where Israel is the outpost of the imperial core, that can basically do like, I did a whole video about this. I did a whole video about the UK's relationship with Israel. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. Piker has said he's not anti-Semitic, but anti-Israel. Of course, there's nothing in here that is anti-Semitic as well. The ban's prompted Jemima Steinfeld, the chief executive on the Index of Censorship, to claim the government had overseen a worrying escalation. Akiko Hart, the director of Liberty, called on the government to be transparent about its rationale for issuing bans. Steinfeld said she was not downplaying the harmful effects of some of the people recently banned from entering the UK, noting that the Jewish community was feeling particularly besieged, but she expressed concern that banning people who had been invited to speak makes access to the UK a taste test based on the current government's determination on what is in the public good. I don't know what she's talking about when she says the Jewish community is feeling particularly besieged. Like, we have Jewish chatters who are in the UK, and they're like, constantly, whenever we reference this, they're constantly like, this is not how I feel. And what I do get worried about constantly is that these organizations, because of their fear of being called anti-Semites or whatever, they will often be like, what Zionists are saying is true. And what Zionists are constantly saying is that Jewish people are the most scared that they've ever been. Jewish people should move to Israel immediately and get strapped with an AK and murder babies. That's the kind of thing that, people who say things like this say. Yeah, probably not feeling as besieged as the transgender community in the UK. Yeah, exactly, right. Anyway, yes, they let Nick Shirley into the UK. I'm going to get onto some of the people that have been let into the UK and are still going to be let into the UK in a minute. She said it's paternalistic and assumes that we're passive consumers of views rather than people who can think, judge, and challenge. It confers an underdog status to the people not allowed to enter. It could embolden other countries to follow suit and feels fairly meaningless in the internet age where people can simply go online to hear what they have to say. Free speech is tested by hard cases, and in this instance, the UK is failing. Damn. Last week, the Labour MP David Taylor called for Piker to be prevented from speaking, and the Jewish organisation from the Community Security Trust urged South by Southwest organisers to act responsibly and not allow the UK to be a platform for Piker. Community Security Trust, Jewish organisation. I hate this chat. For those of you who were watching Red Planet last night, you will remember a part of the stream where Tim and I were talking about the way in which the idea of victim and perpetrator are enforced as binaries in our imperial core societies, and in some cases this means that the word victim can be applied to a poor small bean Jewish organization that does in fact turn out to be an Elbit Systems weapons factory, right? So, when we have these terms like Jewish organization, Community Security Trust, and they are saying things like, do not let Hasan Piker come to South by Southwest. He promotes rhetoric that includes anti-Semitic themes and denies atrocities and supports extremist groups. Yeah, man, that is definitely a Jewish organization. Jewish organization, yeah. First and foremost, a Jewish organization. Certainly not a Zionist organization, a Jewish organization. Jewish people are always saying this, aren't they? Jewish people are always saying, don't let Hasan Piker do anything. There is, famously no Jewish people in Hasan Piker's community. On the internet, there's no Jewish people who, watch him. He doesn't have any Jewish friends, or anything like that. Zach Polanski, the leader of the Green Party in England and Wales, called the bans grim, adding, people often talk about the dangerous road we'd go down under a reform government. This is another clear warning. We're down there already. Fucking based, my king. After news of his ban was confirmed, Uyghur criticized the governments in London and Jerusalem, saying, it's an honor to have made Israel's enemies list. I'm very proud to have fought against their genocide. The mighty United Kingdom is afraid of speech that shows you who's responsible for those war crimes, but no amount of censorship will get us to stop telling the truth. The only thing that I don't like about this, right, more and more people watching Hasan is a net good. No matter what your criticisms of Hasan are, in the UK particularly, more British people watching Hasan is indeed a net good. Piker appeared at the Oxford Union without intervention by the Home Secretary last year. In that appearance, he warned that anti-Semitism was a canary in the coal mine of fascism and said that Jews had always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat for instability and economic volatility, adding that the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism was dangerous. So, it's good that The Guardian are framing it in this way. This is good. But, the biggest problem really is that more Brits are going to start watching Cenk Uygur, and that's terrible. That is terrible. The Home Office said decisions to refuse or cancel an ETA on the grounds based solely on an assessment of the potential risk an individual may pose to UK society. Where applications require further consideration, individuals may choose to apply for a visa if they still wish to travel to the UK. Chat, you can still watch Hasan on Twitch. This is why this is insane. This is why this is so insane. The only thing that they're scared about, right? The only thing that they're scared about is that people who do not use the internet will discover who Hasan is and the things that he says that are anti-Israel, right? He's literally streaming right now. You could watch him. You could tune into the Hasan Piker broadcast. You could tune into the DJ Muel broadcast. What are they going to do? I say way more anti-imperialist, communist shit than Hasan. Are they going to ban me? Are they going to deport me? Let's take a little look at this. Wow, chat. Who's this? And when did this happen? Whoa, what? 4 days ago, ban Hasan Piker. Labour demanded to block extremist lefty from Britain. Two-tier justice. What do you mean? On GB News, let's take a little look at this. So this was 4 days ago. Let's find out what GB News is saying.
This government is about to face one of the biggest tests to date. They've recently banned a load of right-wingers from coming into the UK to attend the United Kingdom March. Kanye West also was told he couldn't perform at London's Wireless Festival. Do you remember that? But rightly or wrongly, they were all kept out of Britain by the Home Office. So in that case, far-left communist Hasan Piker should also be banned from attending a festival in London next week.
Oh, this is so good, bro. Far-left communist Hasan Piker. Absolutely fucking mint, bro. It's so good. It's so good.
This is the guy who said he'd vote for Hamas over Israel, described Orthodox Jews as inbreds, said...
What? When did he say that?
Landlords should be murdered in the street, and said America deserved 9/11.
No comment.
America deserved 9/11, dude. F it. I'm saying it.
There's a little flavour of him there talking about 9/11. This is Hasan Piker banging on about...
Yeah, but it's crazy that he's there in that clip saying that, like, we did, right? He's saying we did. Like, he's an American. He's saying we deserve 9/11. Like, can you imagine if, like, I was scolded for saying that, like, you know, Britain participating in wars in the Middle East, like the Iraq War and shit like that, yeah? Because we participated in that it is absolutely absurd to expect that something like the 7/7 bombings would not happen, or the Manchester Arena bombing, right? I don't think he said Orthodox Jews were inbred. He has called settlers inbred, and that's what they're referring to. That's gonna be it. He calls all racial purity ideologies inbred because that's essentially what they do. It wasn't a Jewish specific thing. Right, gotcha. Hey, Adric, he calls everyone, he disagrees with that. Like Republicans, people from the South, British people. He's right about British people. Yeah, he's right.
Therefore, I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. Hezbollah is a...
Right, but again, also, like, in the context of this, he was talking about, like, if he lived in Palestine, right? Like, wasn't the conversation that he was having with the Podjons, like, wasn't that conversation literally about, like, you have to understand where Palestinians are coming from when they support Hamas? Like, the reason that they support Hamas is because, like, what is the other option? The other option is, like, yes, Israel just annex us, right? Clipped out of context.
Paramilitary organization.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization. That's just a fact.
With them.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
No one on GB News is going to know what he means when he says Luffy. There are just gammons watching this just getting utterly rotted. They're going to think that Luffy is like some kind of ancient communist war hero or something. You know what I'm saying? He was using the equivocation of lesser evil voters in the US to make a point about Hamas. That's what I thought he was doing, right? It's just he has a habit of speaking with his emotion, which is something that happens when, you know, communists speak about politics, because, you know, guess what? Like, the reason that we're communists is because we are in touch with our emotions and we believe that fucking, like, love it should be the defining ideology. It should be the defining shit. Like, look at this. This is just the ADL Twitter. Like, GB News is just playing a reel from the ADL Twitter feed. Like, the history of not marrying outside the faith among the most violent sects like Kahanists is as old as Zionism itself. Over the course of time, you run out of second and third cousins. Well, there you go, Husker says as well, an anti-Zionist Jew that is in our chat. So, there you go. I'm going to be an annoying Hasan explainer because I've looked way too deeply into all the clips out of context shit. I have no life. No, it's all right. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind people being in here either, you know, being Hasan enjoyers or Hasan not enjoyers. You know, you could criticize Hasan Hasan, you can love Hasan. I don't give a shit, man. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're not like overly zealous, either way, I don't give a fuck, right? Do you know what I mean? That's my rules for this kind of shit in chat. Like
Hamas, of course, a proscribed organisation in the UK. Support for them is an arrestable offence. Elsewhere, this is Piker denying that mass sexual assaults took place on October the 7th.
Yeah, but that's just true. This is just true facts. It's just crazy that they're using this as a whole thing.
And
I just
for the
showed you
record, 2. The clips that you used, ironically
Actually, I
enough,
showed
the
you
reason why I
3.
say it's out of context is because
What world do we live in, man? GB News is using an Ethan Klein clip. GB News is playing an H3. It literally says up there, H3 podcast. They're using a clip of the debate he had with Ethan Klein from Ethan Klein's channel. This is so insane. I am genuinely like, what is happening? Citizens of the United Kingdom are watching this very closely. Believe me, our country, not coming our country. This is something that happened about 7 months ago, right? And I remember when this happened and I was pretty buzzing about it, yeah? Zach Polanski on his show, Bold Politics with Zach Polanski, he actually spoke to Hasan Piker. This clip was popping off on Instagram. It was sent to me by Sophie. We have a little group chat, me, Sophie, and Tim. And I guess it just like got like a bunch of attention because he's coming to the UK. And I think that Gammons Online saw it and freaked the fuck out because they were like, oh, he's been speaking with another terrorist, Zach Polanski, right? Let's have a look.
I feel like international solidarity among the left and socialists is really important.
In terms of like building a robust network, there's a lot of international solidarity among fascists. And if you don't have a decent vision on the left, a strong opposition to that kind of fascist sentiment, to really recenter the conversation back to the class dynamic at play, you're always going to lose to that reactionary sentiment because it's alluring. People get frustrated. They privatize your water. The river's not clean. Energy crisis taking place. Cost of living is exploding. All the council housing has been privatized. All of this frustrates people. The austerity frustrates people. And then who do they shift that blame to? Well, on the right, you have people that say it's the Polish. It's the Muslims. It's the immigrants. And a lot of people, in the absence of a socialist alternative, find themselves in the throes of reactionary thinking.
You know, this clip was doing the rounds, and I said when Sophie sent us that message to the group chat with this video, I was like, our media is about to go fucking mental. And this was like 4 days ago or something. So this was literally on Friday. I was like, our media is about to go it might have even been Saturday. I can't remember. Our media is about to go fucking mental mode. And then I woke up to the news today, literally a couple of days later. Oh, he's been banned from coming to the UK. Hasan was going to talk to Zach Polanski, Jeremy Corbyn, and Yanis Varoufakis. So him being banned is Starmer stopping him talking to his political opposition. That is also true. Yes.